All right, next up we got Soul Eater is overdue for a remake. Now, there's about 25 different animes that's overdue for a remake. And I think Soul Eater is like in probably one of the last positions for an anime remake. And the only reason I say that is because the original Soul Eater is considered good, right? And it's not like, oh, you're like Hezzy, a good anime can't get a remake. That's not what I'm saying. It's just like I would rather want to see something like Tokyo Ghoul get a remake or something old like Yu Yu Hakusho get a remake. Like personally, there might be other people that disagree with me and might have Soul Eater higher on like anime that they want to get a remake. Ooh, that's a fire idea, bro. Anyway, random ass thought, but I think like in priority for me, it would be something like Tokyo Ghoul before like Soul Eater. At least that's just my opinion, though.
Hey, yo, 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 what's good though? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. So, you've seen the title and you've seen the thumbnail, and some of you were probably thinking, what the hell? I thought he was talking about video games. What's going on? He's been talking about Sonic and Zelda
Oh, he
and
switched up the
Nintendo
topic.
and Kingdom Hearts for the last couple of weeks. What's going on? I told y'all what this is. In one of my earliest uploads, I told y'all I want to talk about video games. I want to talk about anime. Maybe I want to talk about books. We'll see about the book thing. That sounds, I don't know. That sounds like a different project entirely that I'm not unwilling to do. So we'll talk about that. But
I'm not gonna lie. Look, I used to know some people that did book reviews. Like, you gotta be a demon, bruh. Cause first of all, books are long as shit. So you gotta be a real reader if you want to do book reviews and be consistent. Like, them hoes are long as shit.
today we're here to talk a little bit about Soul Eater. Now, I'm sure a couple of you saw this coming if you paid attention to, me at all, because I've made it very clear Soul Eater is part of just the
He's an
biggest part
advocate.
of my life. And all you have to do is look at my channel. Do you see my avatar, my character, my mascot guy? This is based off of the Soul Eater logo.
I respect it.
The whole shtick, man. Yeah, Soul Eater is one of the most important anime to me, ever. No doubt about that, right? Despite its flaws, despite its issues, despite any problem people and I myself, I guess, have had over the years with this anime, I think it's good. I think it's amazing, actually. And it's, one of the things outside of like the obvious, like Dragon Ball and stuff, that's helped me shape my love for anime. Okay,
Right.
the action and the characterization and the story in Soul Eater is just so cool and so fun. I love that world to hell and back. Soul Eater is probably going to be the thing that I watch on my deathbed, bro.
Look, I just want to say this. I feel like for me, right? Like, this is how I feel about Tokyo Ghoul, right? Like, I love it. I've read the manga. It's like one of the few anime that I've read manga start to finish, and it's just the anime adaptation is horrible. And I can't say that they have a good anime adaptation. So you coming on here telling me that you are okay with your anime adaptation and telling me that it needs a reboot just rubs me the wrong way. Cause I can't say that about Tokyo Ghoul. I can't say that, bruh. And then I get on Twitter today, and we were talking about Twitter earlier, but then I get on Twitter today just to find out that people are forgetting about Tokyo Ghoul, bruh. Like, I don't even want to talk about it. Let's just continue.
That's how much I love Soul Eater. Okay? Now, with that in mind, I am fully under the impression that Soul Eater, as an anime, is more than due for some kind of remake. Now, of course, we have seen remakes happen for anime plenty of times over the years, right? Fruits Baskets. I've never seen the original. I have yet to see the new one, but Fruits Baskets was a popular one that eventually got
Look,
Fullmetal Alchemist.
why did Fruit Baskets get a remake? I never understood it, bruh. I don't understand why why it got a remake. But remake did phenomenal though. I remember seeing the remake doing super good.
Brotherhood. It
Great
finally
ratings.
got the proper treatment. They got the end half of the manga and animated the rest of the actual story, and now we have two Fullmetal Alchemist endings, and both of them were pretty good to my understanding. I've seen Brotherhood, I haven't seen the original, but you get what I'm getting at. And most recently, we got confirmation that we are getting a One Piece anime remake, right? And at first glance, you would probably think, okay, well, why does One Piece of all things need a remake?
Okay, we all know why One Piece is getting a remake. This is obvious, right? There's an obvious flaw in One Piece that they're gonna fix. You know, there's a lot of people that can't get into One Piece. Like, imagine this, right? You have one of the most successful anime and manga to ever come out, right? But it came out damn near 15 years ago, and it's still going on. Not even 15 years, like damn near 20 years ago, right? And it's still going on. And the reason why people can't even get into this popular sensation is because it's over 1,000 episodes and the pacing is slower than dirt. Anybody will want to remake that. Who wouldn't want to remake that? That's the easiest cash grab ever, bruh. So of course One Piece is gonna get a remake, bruh. I stopped at episode 17. Not gonna lie, I just got bored, man. Yeah, bruh, I understand, bruh. I understand.
Well, early animation was kind of okay. You know, it was fun, it was cartoony, but I feel like it definitely deserves more of a real anime treatment, as well as the pacing issues. Dude.
Real anime
Just
treatment.
terrible pacing issues. One Piece in general has awful pacing issues, but a reanimation of the earlier arcs will definitely make it easier to watch for newcomers, right? And so, you know, I look at anime like that, I'm like, okay, cool, great, awesome. Soul Eater should be next in line. Soul Eater should have been next in line.
Look, I can't agree with you, bruh. I can't agree with you. Can Soul Eater get a remake? Absolutely. There's add it on the list with 1,000 other anime. Now that's a little dramatic. Let's just say 50. 50 other anime add it on the list. But next up, absolutely not. It's not stepping in front of Tokyo Ghoul. It's not stepping in front of Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, it's not stepping in front of shows like that, bro. Like, respectfully, it's not.
Line for decades now, because Soul Eater is an incredible anime that has been in the hearts of many for years now. Rarely do I go more than a month without seeing fresh, brand new Soul Eater fan art on my timeline. People still be talking about Soul Eater.
Man, I have. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be so honest with you. Look, I like Soul Eater, right? But I'm not like a Soul Eater advocate. I don't got Soul Eater art popping up on my timeline. The only time I see anything Soul Eater related is when I go to an anime convention. And I see like the one, what's her name? The main girl, Maki or something like that, whatever her name is. Whenever I see her, I see her. Deadass, I see her. The one or two people that's cosplaying her. Deadass, I'm keeping it a buck. Keeping it a buck.
Like, that sucker came out yesterday, bro. Soul Eater is beloved by some men, right? And of course, I'm on the bias side, right?
Yeah,
so I would definitely
obviously.
love to grab a newcomer that's never seen the anime beforehand, show it to them, see what they think, and see if they actually agree that Soul Eater absolutely deserves a remake. And most of you...
no one's arguing that it doesn't deserve a remake. No one's arguing that. Yes, it deserves a remake, just like 50 other anime. But it's back there in the line. Like, it came out a second ago, but y'all have a solid anime adaptation. There are things that just are worse, that have it worse than you guys. That things that are older, that just got it a little worse. That kicks Soul Eater back.
Already probably know by now that we're all in agreement that the second to later half of the anime starts to fall off a little bit in terms of story, right? I've seen Soul Eater a million times. My first couple of watch throughs, I didn't really think too much of it, right? And then eventually I caved and read the manga, and then I started to understand, whoa, there is so much world and story and characters that they didn't even really touch upon. There's so many characters that actually had so much more plot and development.
Wow. Sounds like Tokyo Ghoul.
And just characterization to go through, only for the character to get sidelined in the later half because the story originally, when it was getting animated, wasn't finished, and we were in a different era of anime, and that's why that happened. I can't remember where I read this information, right? But essentially what happened was, back in, the earlier 2000s, there was a situation with anime in which, you have a good anime in your hands. You have a popular anime with a, certified time slot for every week, every new episode, yada yada yada, right? And so now the anime gets caught up, right, with the manga, with all of the information that's already presented from the original story. Like,
Right.
it's the adaptation is now caught up. So then what do, right? Now, granted, anime has become a much more popular and mainstream thing, so they could definitely take a little bit more leniency when it comes to, having slots and stuff like that, because streaming is a much different thing and a much bigger and stronger thing than it was back in like 2007 and 8, right? And so you look at the situation with Soul Eater and you think, okay, well, back then they had two options, right? They either give up the time slot and risk people just not caring about Soul Eater anymore and just falling off the face of the earth, or they do what they can to finish out the story and just do it. And we all know what option they ran with.
Yeah.
Right? And that is precisely what happened at the end of Soul Eater. Right? Now, of course, the original mangaka is the one that wrote the ending to the anime and stuff like that. However, it wasn't necessarily the ending that he probably wanted to tell, given the fact that the manga exists and it goes in a completely polar opposite direction.
Or have you thought my my voice box, I don't know what happened there. Have you thought that maybe, he was just rushed, he came out with an ending and then he didn't like he seen how that ending performed, and like, most people don't say anything bad about the ending, but he had a second chance with the manga. So I mean, of course he's gonna switch it up to write something better, and take his time. Like this has happened to plenty of anime, Soul Eater's on the list. That's all I'm saying. It's just on the list, man.
Than the anime does. It tells so much more story. There's characters that most people haven't even met, and characters that are just kind of just hidden away in this just magical story because they didn't want to risk giving up a time slot. It's kind of crazy the times that we live in now, right? So now I look at Soul Eater as an anime and I think, man, I think it's about that time. Now, in reality, I don't know if I would want Bones to pick it back up, right? Studio Bones has been just going balls to the wall with My Hero, right? And you could tell they're definitely pushing themselves in the wrong direction with My Hero, of course. The story for My Hero is still perfectly fine, I think. I like the story for My Hero just fine. But you can definitely tell from the manga to the adaptation in the anime that there are some things that they're flubbing a little bit, and I don't know if I really trust them anymore, right? But then again, I don't know, maybe it's a certain subsection that's, is just kind of rushing the adaptation and stuff like that. You really
I never thought I would hear the day. Like the other day I was on stream and a guy on his video said he doesn't know if you would want his second season of what was that anime called, Dorohedoro, to go back to Mappa. And then now I'm hearing a guy say that he wouldn't want a remake of Soul Eater to go to Studio Bones. Look, I want to say this right now. Look, I need y'all to realize that the studios that we have in 2024, like most of them, like 90% of them, they are just not touching Studio Bones or Studio Mappa. Y'all gotta realize, y'all got top 1% of studios out there. Just cause one of their adaptations got some hiccups, and but take what you can get, cause there's some animes that's out here getting some studios that just aren't doing the same thing. They aren't. Look, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm not even gonna show you, but there was some CGI floating around Twitter. You don't want your anime in studios like that, man. Doing things like that, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. You better be grateful for what you got. If Studio Bones come around and take Soul Eater again, bro, you better just hope that they take their time on it, bro. That's all I can say.
What's going on behind the scenes with an anime and stuff like that. But regardless, I feel like even if they were up to the task, I feel like I would like to leave it to somebody new. You know what I'm saying? I would love to leave it to Studio Perio. You know what I'm saying? The ones that were animating Bleach, for a long time. The ones that were animating the most recent.
Why would you want to give it to Studio Perio?
Arc as well, they know those characters and stuff like that, and I feel like they would get a pretty good handle on Soul Eater characters as well. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they have that energy to capture. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I would want Mappa to animate it. I really don't know, because they're already stretched pretty thin as is. But even then, in reality, for the most part, they kind of cook every time. Every time they get their hands on a project, bro, they cook, man. Jeez, it's kind of ridiculous almost, right? So yeah, I really don't know who I would want to animate the Soul Eater remake if it were to become a thing. But you know, regardless, I would love to see it in a, you know, hell, maybe give it to Wit. You know what I'm saying? Wit Studio, man, they would be in their bag with that one. I could absolutely see them going balls to the wall with that art style, man. There's just so much potential.
Like,
there's so much potential.
You were like, I just want to say every studio that you named is like a top tier studio. Look, and look, you're just hoping, you know, and because you know a Soul Eater remake is very unlikely, right? You're just hoping, you're just speaking your dreams out in existence, and you know, we all do that, right? But you could realize, I want you to realize something, you know, there's a grim chance that none of those studios pick up Soul Eater, right? It's all about the money. It's all about the money when it comes to picking up anime and working on a anime for a studio. So there's a chance that none of those studios pick up Soul Eater, and you get a mid-tier studio working on your show, and now you got a garbage remake. You think you're wishing for that remake again? Look, most people don't have to go through this. Most people don't have to watch one of their favorite series have a perfectly fine adaptation, and then it get ruined by another studio picking it up. Me as a Berserk fan, I had to go through that. Y'all don't want it, bro. Just take your adaptation that you already have, bro. You know, and you know, just hope about a better anime adaptation. Just hope about it, bro. Just hope. But look, that's all I'm gonna tell you, because you know, if a studio gets Soul Eater and they ruin it, now you're gonna wish that you never asked for it.
In Soul Eater, and I feel like that second half deserves more of a limelight, because Soul Eater characters and their world, it's just so good. It's just so damn good, man. And you know, Fire Force is cool and all. I'm not gonna say much about Fire Force, because in all honesty, it was very hard for me to get through. The fan service was crazy on that one. That's not what we're talking about. I want a Soul Eater anime reboot. I really do. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do too, which is why, if you know, you're probably watching this right now, you're probably in agreement with me. And so I think, you know, we should keep being loud about that, because the more we talk about this, the more somebody might actually hear us and be like, you know what, let's get.
I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how it works, only because, you know, the Berserk fan base have been screaming for a reboot. They've been screaming for remakes for years, for years. And you know what we got in? Straight trash. And you know, most studios don't want to pick it up because they know that it's one of the most iconic manga to ever do it. And if they ruin it, their studio name is going to go down in the trash can. So most studios don't even want to pick it up. So, I mean, yes, I feel like voice matters, but in some cases, you could scream all you want. Nobody going to hear you.
Get into some talks with some people, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what we could do about this, because I think that there's an anime that really deserves to have their story told, truly animated and given the right love. It's definitely Soul Eater. Everything about it was just so awesome, man. And can you imagine actually possibly getting the music from Soul Eater on streaming platforms if it got popular enough again? Oh my goodness. I know for a damn fact Lotus Juice would absolutely come back and tear that soundtrack to shreds again, brother. Alright? He's been doing damn fine work with Persona. Alright? He tore the track up on Persona 3 Reloaded. I know for a fact that if he got invited to work on the soundtrack again for Soul Eater, that man would tear it up. Lie to me. Say he wouldn't. You go ahead and you lie to me. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I've rambled on enough, right? So that just about does it for this one. I am kind of just testing the waters with this one, right? Because I haven't...
All right. Look, like I said, I'm going to stand 10 toes, right? Yes, does it need a remake? Yeah. But like I said earlier, there is 75 plus anime that deserve one just as badly. And even not, I mean, if even worse. There's so many anime that deserve a remake. So yes, I think the industry should just go through and it should just be an era of remakes. But I would love it. I would just love an era of remakes. Like just a year of popular anime that didn't get proper adaptations being remade. I would love it, bro. That would be my favorite year ever. I'm not gonna lie to you. So you like the video? You'll like this one too. Go ahead and click on that. Yeah. You're still here? So you don't fuck with me? Alright, I'ma just.